HOAs in the Aledo area can range from under $300 per year to over $300 per month, but what you get will vary wildly from one neighborhood to the next. Today, I'm going to cover over 30 neighborhoods and their HOAs, so let's strap in for this wild ride. I'm Jared with Living in Aledo, and today we're going to cover a wide array of neighborhoods in the Aledo area. I'm trying to break it down into helpful sections like master plan communities, gated neighborhoods, non-gated neighborhoods, neighborhoods with an acre or more, and we're going to go through a lot of content. So if you find this helpful, if this is something you've been looking for, hit that subscribe button. And if you have a trip planned or thinking about planning a trip to the Aledo area, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. Let's connect sooner rather than later to help you make the most of your time, even if it's just picking the best places for you to eat while you're here. And quick hint, Danes should be at the top of the list. So let's jump into the list. Okay, let's start off with the heavy hitters. The neighborhoods that attract the most people or will attract the most people are going to be the master planned communities. So we've got two big ones currently and one coming in, and we're going to hop right into it. Well, we have to kick the list off with Aledo's premier master plan community, Walsh Ranch. HOA dues can vary wildly depending on the size of the lot, whether you have a condo or a townhome, but you're going to look anywhere from $180 a month up to $370+ per month. But that will include front lawn maintenance for homes with front lawns. It will include fiber internet up to 2 gigs. And on your townhomes, it's going to include the exterior insurance as well. So lots of stuff included in that fee, including all of the amenities, multiple pools, tennis courts. It's got a maker space. It's got a workout facility. It's got a place that you can drop your kids off. I think there's an extra fee for that. But Walsh is great. You've got an elementary inside the neighborhood, and there's still new construction going on. And honestly, there's gonna be new construction going on for a while because Walsh is part of the Quail Valley large development that'll happen. But Walsh is a first place that really draws people's eye to the Aledo area. So check it out. And if you don't love master plan communities, keep watching the video. We've got lots of other options. Okay, so next on the list is Morningstar, and I kind of like to call Morningstar Walsh's little brother. So it's right around the corner, still a master plan community, still has a ton of amenities, not quite as many, but has multiple pools already, has more going in. Price point's gonna be a little bit more affordable, and still a lot to do and super convenient. HOA dues are gonna be $265 per quarter. So your dues are gonna be somewhere between a half to 1/3 of Walsh, but you don't get stuff like internet and front lawn maintenance included in that. Okay, so last on this section of the list is gonna be Kelly Ranch. There are 3 separate sections of this neighborhood. All of them get access to the amenities. So if you're looking and interested for more info, go check out my video on Kelly Ranch. But HOA dues are currently about $2,700 per year. When the amenity center is complete next year in 2026, those dues will likely go up to about $3,300 per year. But similar to Walsh, fiber internet and front lawn maintenance will be included in some of these sections. Amenity center will be awesome. It'll be huge. It's almost 20,000 square feet. So if you're looking for a master plan community, you want new construction, and for some reason, Walsh is not the fit for you, Kelly Ranch is going to be the next place you want to check out. Now, are those neighborhoods a little too big and hectic for you? If you're looking for something a little bit smaller, but still inside city limits, I've got a short list of nice neighborhoods that you should consider. Now, first up, we are going to cover really kind of another favorite of the Aledo area, and that's Parks of Aledo. Now, while the HOA is $600 per year, it is capped, unlike the other master planned communities. There are no amenities, no neighborhood amenities, but there's a lot of parks, green space, and you do have the Parks of Aledo trail system running in and around the neighborhood, whether you like to walk, run, mountain bike, whatever that is. Lots of fun things to do, super convenient, right next to the high school. Okay, so another new construction neighborhood is going to be Country Hollow Estates. This one is actually located off the access road between Ranch House Road and 1187 on the south side of 20. So this one's kind of an odd location. It's next to some storage tanks, kind of close to the highway. There's no amenities. HOA is going to be about $500 a year, and it is a history maker home community. So that's going to be your one builder you have to choose from. On the plus side, easy access in and out if you're going into Fort Worth, and price points are going to be on the below average for Aledo area. No amenities currently, but you do have city utilities, so you're not worrying about well and septic. Okay, so last for this section is we have the reserves at Trinity and Willow Park. This is a new construction construction community that has one main road going through the middle, and then it has 4 courts on either side. So if you really want to live on a cul-de-sac, this is a great neighborhood because every single street is a cul-de-sac. So the only people coming down your street normally should be like the 8 or 10 people who live on your cul-de-sac, or the street leading to your cul-de-sac. They do have amenities. HOA is about $500 per year, and that does include the amenities like a pool. I think it may have like a tennis court, and then it also has like an amenity center that includes maybe like a pool table or ping pong table or something like that. Now, Aledo has a ton of gated neighborhoods. So next up on our list, I'm going to cover 14 gated neighborhoods, and that's not even all of the gated neighborhoods in the Aledo area. Well, let's kick this section off with Bella Flora, the only 24/7 gated and guarded neighborhood currently in the Aledo area. HOA dues are about $2,700 per year. Again, that's going to cover the gate, the guard, and the grounds. There are walking paths, there are some ponds, and there's some dog parks, but no other amenities. But it is a high-end community that people really do enjoy. It is off 1187 and 377, so you can kind of get to Aledo or into Fort Worth through Benbrook relatively easy. Okay, so right next door, you have Bella Ranch, which is the center of the 3 Bella Flora neighborhoods. This one is gated. During the day, the weekday, the gates are often left open, with the gates closing in the evenings and on the weekends. And HOA is going to be about $500 a year with no other amenities. Okay, so next up, I have probably one of the most coveted neighborhoods in all of Aledo ISD. That is Stone Creek Farms. It is a neighborhood directly across from McDavid Estates. It's gated, it's heavily treed, it has topography change. It's a mature neighborhood, high-end construction. And this is a neighborhood that people will watch for years and years to find the perfect home. I've had clients who have looked at everything they could find and decided this was the only neighborhood they wanted to buy in. So HOA is going to be about $1,200 a year. That's going to cover the gate, the ground maintenance, but it's an awesome neighborhood. You should check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Now, if you want to see some really nice $1 million+ homes, go check the homes out in the Grasslands. HOA is going to be about $500 a year. It is gated, and there's only going to be about 20 homes. So if you're looking for a very small neighborhood, tight-knit community on, about 2 acres, well and septic, go check out the Grasslands. You've got 4 Light Custom Homes, you have Hark Homes, and a couple of other really nice small custom builders that build out there. Okay, we're going to jump up to Willow Park for a minute. We've got Saddle Ridge Estates, small gated community. Homes are on less than an acre because it's inside city limits. It has city utilities. It's about 1 street with a single court coming off of it. So small community with some nice people over there. All right, now we've got La Madera, which I've talked about in lots of other videos, but La Madera is going to be on the very southern edge of that FM5 1187 loop. It is going to be about $2,700 per year. It is gated. There's lots of construction going on because they just opened up the last phase of the neighborhood, so the gates are often left open. But we're in phase 7. They are currently selling lots. There are some builders building spec homes. So this is a great neighborhood that if you want to build a really nice home in Aledo, you probably would have a very hard time over building this neighborhood. So it's a great one. If you're looking for lots in the area, reach out. They are going to be selling, or at least the good ones are going to be selling. Or if it's a neighborhood you just want more info on, let me know. Okay, so right next door, you have Claire Vista. Now, if someone says Bear Country, that's the legal name, like that's recorded with the county, but the neighborhood name on the sign is Claire Vista. It's gated. It's right next door to La Madera. HOA is going to be about $650 per year. There's no amenities. That cost goes to just maintaining the grounds and the gate. Okay, now Summit Ranch is probably going to be my favorite new high-end community going in. Again, it will be gated, but why is it my favorite? Really, the location is great. Just south of 20 off FM5 makes getting to the highway super convenient. You only have to go through 1 school zone. It's a straight shot. There's not tons of winding roads to get there. It is going to be a fairly small community. If you are interested, you should look into it sooner rather than later. Most of the best lots are already taken, either by builders or homeowners. So if you're looking to buy your own lot, there was like 4 or 5 that I thought were like the top level lots. If you're looking for something to buy from builder, there's some great option there as well. I do have a video on that. HOA is going to be like $500 a year. That's just going to cover the gate and the entrance and the mailboxes. Okay, now Oakcrest Hills is another client favorite. Not a whole lot comes up over there because it's a fairly small community. HOA is $825 per year. Again, it is gated. It's over off Airport Road. So you go south of 20 off FM5, then you head west on Airport Road a couple miles. Relatively convenient, feels nice and secluded as well. Okay, so right next door is Muir Hills. HOA is going to be $325 per year. There is a gate there, but I've never seen it closed. So if having a truly gated community is important to you, this one might not be the best fit. Okay, now Saddle Creek is another one of these neighborhoods that I love. It's a small gated neighborhood just southeast of downtown Aledo, 40, 50 homes maybe. HOA is going to be $1,200 a year, no amenities. Okay, so next up on the list is Rancho Ladera, and this is one of the few neighborhoods that really is going to rival La Madera. HOA is $700 per year. It is gated. There's no amenities, but it is a very high-end neighborhood with really nice homes. Okay, so last on the list for this section is going to be Bella Vista, not to be confused with any of the other Bella neighborhoods, and an entirely separate neighborhood in a different area. Bella Vista is off of FM5 south of 20. The HOA is going to be about $1,000 a year. It is gated, but there's no other amenities. Okay, so the next section we're going to cover is non-gated neighborhoods, but still on 1+ acre in the Aledo area. Okay, we're going to kick this list off with Bella Crossing. It is immediately adjacent to Bella Ranch in the Bella Flora neighborhoods, right off 377. A lot of high-end construction going on over here, and it is adjacent. Some of these homes will be able to look into the edge of Maverick Golf and Ranch Club. HOA is $700 per year. There's no gate. There's no additional amenities. Okay, another new construction neighborhood that is kind of right around the corner from Bella Crossing is Woodland Meadows. Now, this neighborhood has been developed for a few years and they're still selling new homes, but you are now getting some homes that are pre-owned and up for sale as well. HOA is $525 per year. It's non-gated, so you're just kind of covering the entrance and stuff. And one of the unique things about this neighborhood is that the Parker County, Tarrant County line runs straight through the neighborhood. So some lots are on 2 acres because that's what Parker County requires for well and septic. And some homes are on 1 acre because they fall in Tarrant County. So you could have a different size lot because of where you are, and you could have slightly different property taxes even though you are in the same neighborhood. Okay, now we have my personal home. We have McDavid Estates. We are right across from Stone Creek Farms, just south of the highway off FM5. HOA dues are $250 per year. That covers like the front entrance, the flowers, the beds, the trees. We do have some neighborhood lights. It covers that kind of stuff. And then when a neighborhood needs improvement, like the neighborhood perimeter fence. But we don't have any amenities, but we are on 1 acre. We all have well and septic, and it's an awesome neighborhood, great neighbors, lots of mature trees, and we love it. My wife even grew up in the neighborhood, and my in-laws still live there. Okay, next up is one of my favorite neighborhoods, and that's Covered Bridge Canyon. This is a non-gated neighborhood way on the north side of Aledo ISD, and actually part of this neighborhood is Azle, so you need to be careful in this neighborhood. But Covered Bridge Canyon, HOA is about $750 per year. And why is it a little bit more expensive? Because it actually has a neighborhood pool, and it has some neighborhood ponds where residents can fish. So it's actually one of the older neighborhoods that has a few amenities, pool and the ponds. Otherwise non-gated, but a really beautiful neighborhood, tons of mature trees and lots of elevation changes. Okay, these next two are a little bit odd, and I'm going to cover them together because they basically feel like one neighborhood. You got Maravilla Vistas and Maravilla Estates. These are right off of Bear Creek. You drive through Maravilla Vistas to get to Maravilla Estates. So one thing to note is Maravilla Vistas does not have an HOA. I'm not totally certain if it just never got recorded or they disbanded it or what happened. There is no HOA in the front section at all. So you have people with horses, chickens, you got stuff, it's nice if you want some space and to do what you want, but that does mean there's a kind of a large variety of yards and how they're maintained or what they keep in those yards. The back section is Maravilla Estates. There is an HOA, $120 a year. But the interesting thing about this one is that while the HOA documents are recorded, they're valid, the HOA board does not even follow the restrictions. So I had a client looking at a home and we could hear a rooster going like, where's this rooster coming from? Maybe it's from the section that doesn't have an HOA. Nope, it was the next door neighbor. So we're talking with the listing agent and getting questions answered, found out that the HOA restricts chickens, so no chickens, but the board members don't even follow that. And there's roosters. So essentially you don't have an HOA. And the concern with that is that if you want an HOA and want some level of restrictions, if the board is not enforcing anything, then anyone could come in and do whatever they want. It would be hard to enforce that. So that's a concern there. And there's a reason HOA rules exist. Even if you don't like every rule, if they're not being enforced, it's hard to enforce anything. All right, now if you want new construction in Aledo, but you don't want 2 acres, you're gonna be looking at Aledo Heights. This is new construction on 1 acre. HOA is approximately $500 per year. And one unique thing about this neighborhood is that you do have your own septic systems, but you have a community well, which is why this new construction neighborhood can have homes on 1 acre. So Aledo Heights is gonna be the south part of the FM5 1187 loop, right next to the entrance to La Madera. Okay, now right next door is another one of the old school high-end neighborhoods. You've got McDavid Springs. HOA is gonna be about $300 per year. There's no amenities, just like most of the other original development neighborhoods. Okay, so we got the last McDavid neighborhood I'll be mentioning today. That's gonna be McDavid Southwest. Technically, there's only a voluntary HOA, but because of the actual neighborhood, I wanted to include it. That's gonna be just off FM5, south of 20 and Airport Road. So another great neighborhood. These McDavid neighborhoods were really nice, high-end, high-quality construction when they were built. So some of them are a little bit dated, but they got great bones. Okay, next up is going to be Sanctuary Oaks. This is an older established neighborhood south of 20 off FM5. HOA is going to be about $600 a year. And this neighborhood supposedly says that horses are welcome. Obviously, there's always restrictions with that. So if that's something that you are considering, make sure you understand what those restrictions might be. Okay, so last in this section of the list is Rolling Creek Ranch. This is a new construction neighborhood on 2+ acres. This is going to be over off Bear Creek Road, and this is mostly Our Country Homes developing and building out this neighborhood. HOA is $12.50 per year, and it is non-gated. Okay, so the last section on the list is going to be golf course communities. And while Aledo historically hasn't had any real golf course like neighborhoods that are actually part of the golf courses, they do have a couple of golf courses with adjacent neighborhoods that are attached. And then we are getting some coming in the future. So let's hop into these neighborhoods. Okay, so first up on the list is going to be Crown Valley. This is a small gated neighborhood that is adjacent to Oeste Golf Club. The HOAs are $90 per quarter, and golf membership is not included. My wife's grandmother lives in the neighborhood. Really pretty great location, pretty easy on and off, and a nice quiet community if you're looking for something adjacent to a golf course. Okay, the second golf course neighborhood I want to mention is Split Rail Estates. It's actually like 2 separate sections of the neighborhood in and around Split Rail Golf Club. My aunt and uncle live over here. Really pretty streets, really pretty homes, nice homes. HOA is about $1,000 a year. It is not gated, and the golf course membership is not included. Okay, now last but certainly not least is Bluejack Ranch and Maverick Golf and Ranch Club. And I gotta say, they are amazing. I've been on site at both facilities. You've got greens going in, you've got fairways, you've got bunkers, and they're coming along really great. I've been there with clients. I've met with both sales reps. So if it's something you're interested in, go check out my other videos or reach out to me. There is some information that they ask not to be kind of thrown out onto the internet, but happy to share that with you guys if you're interested. But I just can't do those neighborhoods justice in a minute. So go check out those videos if you're interested. Okay, so I know I just dumped so much information on you that there's no way that you can retain it all. So if there was anything that stuck out, anything you have questions on, throw it in the comment section or reach out to me directly, and I can get you as much information as you need on any specific neighborhood to help you make a great decision for you and your family. So if this is your first time on the channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you have a trip planned or you were thinking about planning a trip, reach out to me. Let's start a conversation early. Let's make sure that you make the most of your time when you come to the Aledo area.